In a heart-stopping clip from the Philippines, a YouTuber's GoPro captures a scene of near tragedy unfolding in an instant. As he rounds a blind corner, a pedestrian materializes from the haze, walking a deadly tightrope on the road itself, with a vast, empty shoulder of grass just steps away. The collision is avoided by a whisper, a fraction of a second that separates a normal day from a nightmare. But the danger was not a solitary one. A mere moment later, the same GoPro captures the source of her recklessness, a loose dog that darts into the path of another vehicle, a chaotic shadow that nearly triggers a catastrophic chain reaction. This was a preventable disaster, a gamble with fate, on a road that showed no mercy. The legality is a secondary concern to the chilling truth etched into the footage. This was a brush with death, twice over, born from a single, fatal decision. Armed with only a GoPro, a YouTuber named Takashima ventures into the gaping maw of a forgotten tunnel, a place where light seems to die and the air grows cold. Deep within the oppressive darkness, a fatal curiosity takes hold, compelling him to place a hand upon the rusted tracks. It is in that moment he feels it, not a sound, but a deep, resonant vibration crawling up his arm. A primal warning that death is barreling towards him in the blackness. With mere heartbeats to spare, he flings himself into a cramped service alcove, the train thundering past in a deafening roar of steel and wind. It was a refuge he admits many tunnels cruelly lack. The line between daring exploration and a permanent haunting was erased in those few seconds. A stark reminder that some dark places are not meant for the living, and their dangers are as real as any ghost. A frantic GoPro video captures what sounds like a family's final moments, their breaths sharp with a terror far more immediate than any ghost. For Tyson and Haley, the haunting call came at midnight, not from a spirit, but from a wildfire, a roaring inferno devouring the mountainside and racing for their home. Now, trapped in a snarl of closed roads and panicked traffic, the father's voice remains a forced calm, a fragile dam holding back his own scream to keep his children from understanding their true predicament. They are low on fuel, caged in their car, and driving blind into an orange hell. Guided by the desperate gestures of police, they navigate a labyrinth of flame, every turn a gamble with oblivion. When they finally break free, the silence at the gas station is deafening. As they watch the apocalyptic glow, the adrenaline fades, leaving the chilling realization of how thin the line was between this moment and a tragedy. This footage was never meant to be their epitaph, but a stark testament to a night where their entire world almost turned to ash. In a breathtaking and reckless display, a group of friends treat the city's skyline as their personal racetrack, launching into a frantic parkour scramble across the rooftops. Their game is one of terrifying precision, targeting the most precarious perches and narrow ledges. Moving with an almost spectral silence, they descend upon unsuspecting people below, flipping over their heads like phantoms, before the victims even have a chance to look up. In a little under a minute, they reach the bottom, their victory sealed with a surge of adrenaline-fueled pride. But this is a game where the margin for error is zero, a single misstep from a tragedy that would echo through these very streets. One can only hope this fleeting triumph is enough, because their next run could be their last. A surfer, poised on his board in search of serenity, instead captured a moment of pure primal dread. As he glides across the water, a long, dark shape materializes in the depths, a form that is neither seaweed nor shadow. It is a shark, a silent torpedo of muscle and instinct that darts directly beneath his fragile board in a single heart-stopping second before vanishing back into the abyss. While shark sightings are common along this Florida coast, the absence of a clear fin leaves a chilling ambiguity. This was no familiar silhouette. It was a phantom from the deep, a fleeting glimpse of a predator that shared the water for a moment, leaving behind only a cold question and the terrifying realization of how thin the line is between a perfect ride and a perfect storm of fear. While exploring a seemingly ordinary beach, a YouTuber's GoPro captured a creature that seems ripped from a nightmare. This shapeless, yellow entity undulates in the surf, its paper-thin body a grotesque parody of a starfish. It moves with a purpose, kicking feebly against the tide, as if fighting to return to a deeper, darker home. The witnesses show a chilling wisdom, refusing to touch the thing for fear of unseen toxins coursing through its alien flesh. Its very form raises a terrifying question. Is this a complete, unknown organism, or merely a discarded piece of something much larger that met a gruesome end in the abyss? This is a mystery washed ashore, a pale, pulsating enigma waiting to be solved. After days of solitary travel, an explorer stumbles upon a forgotten bridge, a structure steeped in a grim, local legend. It is here that the notorious bandit Stucky was finally brought to a brutal justice. Standing alone in the oppressive silence, with only his GoPro to bear witness, he records the stillness, a stillness suddenly violated by an unearthly splash from the black water below.
And apparently every once in a while, if you hear a splash in the water, that's Stucky's ghost. And unfortunately, there is a lot of graffiti left behind here. There's nothing you can really do about.
This was no mere coincidence. With a week's worth of footage proving his complete isolation, the possibility of a hoax evaporates into the chill air. What he captured was not an animal or a trick of the wind, but a raw, paranormal encounter. The ghostly echo of a long-dead outlaw making his presence known. A chilling EVP from a soul that refuses to rest. Before we get to number 1, please subscribe to the channel for more daily, scary videos. From a gaping fissure in the earth, a nightmare chorus echoes. A low, guttural hissing that sounds less like wind and more like some primordial, evil ocean churning in the depths. It's the sound of a hidden world breathing. A spectral sigh that raises the terrifying question. Is this a gateway to some forgotten abyss? And what ancient thing is waiting on the other side? The logical mind clings to a single fragile hope. It was a windy day. Perhaps this unearthly roar is just air screaming through a forgotten pipe, or a construction tunnel. But hope is a thin shield against the chilling reality captured on tape. A sound so visceral and menacing that it threatens to drown out all reason, leaving only the fear that we are not listening to the wind, but to something that has been listening to us.